Hello guys, welcome back. Now in this session we are going to discuss about Terraform State File, that is tfstate file. So let's look into the agenda. What are the topics we are going to cover in this session? So guys, in this session we are going to discuss about what actually the Terraform State File is, what is the significance of tfstate file, and we will also look into how Terraform State File works. So let's start our discussion. So guys, have you ever thought that whenever you are running a Terraform plan command, then what happened? So let's look into that. Then we will discuss. So let's write Terraform plan enter. This is the same example I am using which we have done in last session, where we have created 5 resources. We have created one EC2 instance, then we have created DynamoDB, and then we have created a IAM user, and for that we have created 3 different resources, and I am using the same example to understand the tfstate file. So guys, it has given us this configuration information which it is going to create within AWS. So here the question is how Terraform comes to know that he have to create 5 resources, change 5 resources, or whether he have to destroy 5 resources. So how does Terraform comes to know about all these information? So all these calculation happening through the help of Terraform state file, that is called tfstate file. This file is nothing but a JSON file which maintain the local state of the infrastructure which we are creating. So currently, if you will see it over here, we don't have any kind of information about the resources because we are not having any of the resources existing at the provider's domain. For this example, provider's domain is our AWS. So here we got the first definition of our session, that is what is Terraform state file is. So Terraform state file is a file which holds the current state of your infrastructure. So tfstate file holds all the metadata information about your infrastructure which you are creating through tf files, or say TF program. You should always remember that the primary purpose of Terraform state is to store binding between resources in a remote system and the resource instance which you have declared in your configuration. So what will happen when Terraform creates a remote resource in a response to a change of configuration? It will record the identity of that particular remote resources against a particular resource instance, and then it will update or delete that object in response to the future configuration changes, and all these things maintained within the terraform.tf state file. So to see this thing in action, let's run this program and let's apply the configuration to create the 5 resources within AWS. And then we will look into the same file, that is tfstate file, and we will look into what are the metadata information it contains after creating the resources within the AWS. So let's run Terraform apply command. So first I will write CLS to clear the screen, and over here I will write Terraform apply enter. So it is running now. So guys, you just look into this file. After creating the resource, this will be filled with the metadata information of all the resources which we are creating. So it is asking for confirmation. Make sure that you are specifying yes over here. Now it will start creating the resources within AWS. So it is running now. So guys, you will see it over here. It has created 5 resources, and over here within the terraform.tf state file, you will see that all the configuration is filled in with the metadata, and what kind of information it contains. If you closely look into that, then you will find that it has created an AWS DynamoDB table, and it keeps the detail of all those configuration. If you proceed further, then you will find the description about other resources which it is maintaining the TF state file. For example, AWS IAM access key. This is one of the resource, if you remember. Then there is another resource. It is keeping the detail about that AWS IAM user. Next, you will see it over here. Other resource we are having is the AWS IAM user policy. And at last, if you remember that, we have also created the EC2 instance. Now you will see it over here. It maintains all the information about each of the resources. For example, over here it is maintaining AWS instance. So it knows that where it is being created and what is the type of instance type along with the other details. So let's do one thing. We will go to the AWS and we will do the changes within the instance type, and we will look into whether our Terraform is able to recognize the changes or not. So let's jump into the AWS. So to do the changes within the instance, we need to first stop it. So let's stop it. We will go over here and we will select instance state and we will tell stop. So let's stop it and then we will do the instance changes. Now once it is being stopped, let's go to the instance setting. And over here we will change the instance type, and over here we will change it to t2.nano and apply. So now we have done the manual changes over here. So now let's go back to the Terraform and let's run the Terraform plan again, and let's look into that what is going to happen. So over here we will come and we will open the terminal Terraform. First let's clear the screen and we will write Terraform plan, enter. And let's look into the thing what information it is going to give, because we have done the manual changes and that is not being reflected over here. So we have to identify that whether Terraform is able to recognize that changes or not. So now it has completed the execution. Let's look into that what are the output it has given. And you will see it over here, it is giving us two changes. The first one, you will see it over here that we have done the manual changes over here. That is what it has recognized, that our current infrastructure is having t2.nano, which is supposed to have t2.micro as we have mentioned in our configuration. That is, we are telling it over here that we want t2.micro instance within AWS, but it found that we are having t2.nano. And here you will notice that whichever the thing which is going to change and which expecting the change, it is marked as tilde sign. Same is the case with over here. So over here it is also referring that within this particular resource there is some change needed because it is not matching with your configuration. Same is the case with over here. It is also there. You will see it over here. It is telling that time to live, that is TTL, need to be specified. Forget about this change. Don't worry about this one. So how it come to know that? So with the help of state information. So whenever we are writing Terraform plan, it is comparing the current state with the desired state. Current state holds the information about the current system configuration is t2.nano, but the expectation is the t2.micro, which we have mentioned in our TF file. And when both are not matching, then Terraform plan will mark it for change with the help of this tilde sign. So to apply it again, what we need to do, we need to again write Terraform apply. So what it will do, it will change the t2.nano to t2.micro again. So let's do it. So it is asking for your consent. You need to specify yes. And prior to applying the yes, you should make sure that what actually it is going to perform. Then only you can specify yes over here. So it is modifying the resources. So it has modified the instance. Let's go into the console and we will check into the AWS console. Let's refresh it. So over here it is running the instance that is t2.micro. We have changed it earlier t2.nano. Now again we have reverted back with the help of Terraform. So now let's discuss about how actually this is happening. So guys, basically we are having a tfstate file which actually contains the local state information to create plans and make changes to our infrastructure. But prior to running any operation, what Terraform do? Terraform refresh to update the state with the real infrastructure. And that's the reason when we executed the Terraform plan, it come to know that there is an instance change happened within the current infrastructure. And that's the reason here it is mentioning that there is a change within the instance. So currently it is t2.nano. You have to change it to t2.micro as per your configuration, and all these magic happening through the tfstate file. And this is what I wanted to demonstrate you in this session. So as we are done with the session, make sure that you are going to remove your all the resources from AWS, else you will be charged. So let's do it. You need to write Terraform destroy. With the help of this command, we will remove all the resources from AWS by using the configuration. So it is asking for your consent. Make sure that you are specifying yes over here to destroy the resources, and over here it is also mentioning the same. 5 resources going to be destroyed. So it has destroyed 5 resources. So now let's sum up the session what we have learned. So in this session we have understand that what actually the Terraform state file is. We have understand that what actually the significance of tfstate file is, and at last we have understand that how Terraform state file works. On this note, I am stopping over here. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.